Well, looks like my job is not done. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, just want to make a update on my last video that I wanted to put this out here so you guys would know. And shout out to the people in the comment section, because there was a little correction on my last video when it comes to the Guardian helmets. Now, we don't know if Andrew Thomas had on this specific helmet, but it looks like that according to the ESPN.com, it says the NFL will exempt players from having to use the Guardian caps during the mandated portion of training camp if they wear one of 6 new helmet models that the league and the NFL Players Association have identified as providing equal or better protection. Now, you got that out the way. Here's my thing. 2 things. 1, update the NFL operations handbook. That's number 1. And 2, the dude is 315 pounds. So he might need a little something more. Now that we got that out the way, the Detroit Lions decided to bring in 2 individuals, and one of these is quite intriguing. According to Aaron Wilson, he tweeted this and then deleted it and retweeted it. Says the Lions recently worked out Carlos Watkins and Mark Evans. Now, I can tell you right now, these are 2 linemen. One of them is a defensive lineman, and one of them is an offensive lineman. Now, we did have an injury to Kevin Zeitler. We don't know what the severity of that injury is. It was to the shoulder. That would maybe explain why Mark was brought in here undrafted from AR Pine Bluff College, born in 1999, October 11th. He has 0 stats, no stats at all. So he is probably just a camp body as we see what is going on with Kevin. But this other guy is intriguing for more reasons than one, and that is Carlos Watkins. He was a 4th round pick in 2017, pick 142 out of into Houston. Now, as you can see, last year he had 4 solo tackles, 1 sack. All right. He has played the first 4 years with the Houston Texans, 2 years with Dallas, last year with the Arizona Cardinals. Actually, last year was the lowest amount of games that he's played in his career. Now, again, this guy here is probably another camp body. However, it does start to go kind of make me do this a little bit. It makes me do this a little bit because you and I had a very spirited conversation in the offseason. Now, granted, there is no DJ Reader at this moment, and this dude is going to create the opportunity for other people. We saw Marcus Davenport talk about Aiden Hutchinson being the catalyst for the rest of the defensive line. And I saw Liam McNeil absolutely destroy a offensive lineman for the Giants earlier today. I got to find that video so I can put it on the other channel. But the question that I have is this. What is this for? We didn't lose a defensive lineman today, right? We lost a cornerback, Terrion Arnold, potentially. We don't know what's going on with him yet. So if you're bringing in a defensive end, because that's what his designation is, I believe, he is a DT. I'm sorry, he's a DT. You bring in another lineman, another defensive lineman. But why? Is it because, according to what I've read, some from Giants media, some from Detroit Lions media, that the Detroit Lions defensive line struggled today against a non-Detroit Lions offensive line. Now, we got one of the best offensive line in the National Football League. Ours is no doubt better than the New York Giants. But is it a case of familiarity? They know us, we know them. Is that the true test was going to come against different opposition? So, again, not saying this guy is going to make the team, but he's probably going to come in and get some stiff competition. So the reason I was rubbing my hands together is because I have been staying on this hill by myself. And when I say by myself, I can't say or name another creator. There probably some out there, but I only watch a few. I can't name another creator that has been as adamant as I have been about specifically the defensive line, even with the addition of DJ Reader. I have been pushing for Matthew Judon. I have been pushing for Yannick Ngakoue. And now that the preseason is here in less than 72 hours, we going to see what we need to see. And I think, is it going to be for Judon? That's less likely. But bringing a guy in, a free agent like a Yannick Ngakoue, at this point, that'll do me some good. So we did not lose anyone via cut, waiving, or injury on the defensive line, but yet we brought in a defensive tackle. Why? And just coincidentally, reports are coming out that we had probably the worst defensive line performance of the entire training camp period. Now, again, we're talking about training camp. We're not going to see DJ Reader until the beginning of the season. That's if he's able to go. All right. So there's a lot of question marks in my opinion. And this isn't about me versus you and who's right and who's wrong. It's not. We all want the same thing. I just make videos about them. You guys comment. That's it. I just truly don't believe that our defensive line is there yet. Even when we looked at the depth chart and we looked at the front four, I like that front four. Aleem, DJ, Hutch, and Davenport. I do like that four. I think it's better than our previous front four. But is it enough to make a difference? That's what the jury is still out. I trust Hutch. I trust Reader if he's healthy. I trust Aleem McNeil. Who I don't trust is Marcus Davenport. Even though he's a strong dude. He's a strong guy. I just don't trust that he can remain healthy and give Hutch the help he needs. I'll leave you with this. Shout out to my guy JBL. I watch Brett Cullerman, okay? And they did a show about the Detroit Lions. They did all 32 teams, and their last show was about the Detroit Lions. And he mentioned a stat about Aiden Hutchinson and pressures, that Aiden Hutchinson got 10 more pressures than like the elite of the elite pass rushers, the TJ Watt, the Myles Garrett, the Bosas, because the sheer number, the fact that it was all on him. Go check it out. Great listen. I highly recommend it because we did not have the person to help him out. Now, they agreed that Marcus Davenport and Reader were going to like significant changes or upgrades, and I agree with only one of those. So let me know your thoughts, man. These two guys, one is probably just until they find out what's going on with Big Kev, and the other one is maybe because they didn't see what they wanted to. They didn't see what they wanted to. Again, they worked these guys out. They did not bring them in. They're not part of the roster. But the fact that they are looking at a defensive lineman when we have a ton of those guys, right? But do we have the guy? That makes me wonder, are the Detroit Lions done when it comes to this roster? I'm going to say probably not, specifically the defensive line. Again, safety, defensive line, this is barring any injury. Safety, defensive line, wide receiver. Maybe a quarterback as well. I'm just saying. Look, I just make the videos. I'll make the rules, all right? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, you know, if my thing is this. If Andrew Thomas, you're 300 and you're fit 315 pounds, if that helmet is safer, why not put everybody in the helmet? That's all I'm trying to figure out. You got all these people out there. You gonna put the biggest dude on the field in a helmet that you've engineered to be better. And if it's better than the Guardian cap, why not put everybody else in that same engineer helmet? If you don't have enough of them, then don't have any of them. And you give the biggest guy on the football field an option of wearing a helmet that is safer. I don't know. The math ain't mathing. That's all I'm saying. So it is what it is. Video stand up, not coming down. That's what the NFL rule book said. That's where I went. So, you know, I just went and saw what I saw. All right. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. I think I can turn my computer off now. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.